Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to get on Braveheart, Anees Taj. He's now 8 wins with 5 defeats. And yes, pleasure getting you on, Anees.
Pleasure to be on again.
And yes, before we get into Baluta later, because he's got a big fight later on, which we'll talk about in a bit. But yeah, firstly, you know, I saw you at Tolworth. I got you on just briefly. Talk about the fight you had in Tolworth. I know it didn't go your way. I feel like I've watched the fight at least 4 times back, and I still can't see how you lost the fight. And yeah, just talk about the fight.
Well, there was issues from the get go, weight issues and stuff like that. So you know, maybe it was a sign. I don't know. It's stuff like that weren't going to go my way that day. Um, had the fight, and me and my coach, we had a game plan. So as I was saying to you before the fight, we had, I'm not looking to stop him, but if it comes, it comes. But I'm going out there trying to get rounds. Um, And me and my coach have been working on trying to tame Braveheart, bring Braveheart out when we need him rather than just rushing at everyone and trying to have a scrap, which is again fun. And the Braveheart, a bit like Alan Babbage used to do, the Savage. Braveheart wants to have a fight, so got to try and be a bit smarter, try and save ourselves in certain aspects. Don't go all guns out, all guns blaring. So I was doing that, and I thought I was picking up the rounds. There was a couple rounds, and round by round, me and my coach and our corner team, we legitimize. As long as I'm not completely gone and blowing, we'll talk. How did you feel? Yeah, what level are you at? Yeah, I'm a six. At 6 out of 10 is nothing. I'm like, yeah, I'm
I
good.
mean,
And
I mean, he occasionally threw like the backhand out, didn't he? But not overly too much to be. I can't remember what I had it, but I think I thought you won at least four quite convincingly. But I
yeah,
thought maybe 59, 55, 58, 56 sort of thing to you. And even the commentary was saying you're looking good,
yeah,
but the commentary were a bit surprised, you know, that you weren't really, they were expecting you to sort of let your hands go a bit more.
yeah. So it's like the whole thing was trying not to. We were aiming on shoring myself up. So we got a tough journeyman type thing that will be able to there to do the rounds. That's what we wanted. And we wanted to be able to have someone who's going to throw something back. Don't get me wrong. I don't want someone who's just going to lie down. Throw something back, but make sure, my strength and conditioning coach I've been working with for 3 years goes to me, that's the best head movement I've seen of you in God knows how long. And I'm like, thank you. So, the head movement's coming back, everything, my foot movement's coming back. And then when they said 58, 50, like, okay, they gave him 2 rounds, fair enough. I knew they could give him the last round. And I thought probably fourth round, the third or fourth round, it was a 50-50 type round because I took it a little bit easy that round. I was
Mm.
like, yeah. And then when they said his name, I was like, wait, how the hell did the ref only give me 2 rounds? And then there was issues with my assistant coach, Tony Pill, my assistant to Kieran. He went and the ref like, how the hell have you scored that? And the ref started absolutely going at Tony, and there was back and forth there, and the officials sort of had to step in and said, listen, just make a complaint, whatnot. And I made a complaint, but essentially on the record, nothing can be done. I was told a few things off the record, which I won't repeat, but um, it was just issues. But you know, that referee will never referee my fights again. That's one thing that I've made clear. That I've made clear to everyone, if he's there, he does not referee my fights because I might just happen to miss hitting the opponent and end up knocking the ref out, which I could say accidents happen, but obviously we don't want that. I don't need to have any of that rubbish. So,
Yeah.
you know, better he doesn't ref me, doesn't be anywhere near me.
Yeah, I mean, you stood in the ring after it got announced and you were stood there for quite a while, just stood
Yeah,
there in shock in.
yeah. It was because the last fight of the night. You're like, okay, there's no one else. It's just like, are you being serious? And then with the goings on with Tony and the referee and myself, there was a few other officials around there. they looked a little bit confused. I won't say exactly who they are, but they looked a bit like not sure that was the right decision there. And but look, we live and learn, sort of thing.
And
Um,
he's fighting Sharif tonight, isn't he?
uh, I haven't got a clue. I haven't checked that. But if he is, I hope it's not that same referee. And to be honest, if he is fighting Sharif, I hope Sharif just goes out there and knocks him out. That's one thing that if I could go back, there were times where there was Braveheart could have been unleashed,
Yeah, you.
and
Mm.
looking back at it, I should have just gone out and just thrown some big old hooks, big bombs, and just took him out of there. If I knew that was going to happen, I would have.
Well, it was a good performance. As you put in your Instagram after the fight, a winning performance, and we all know you won the fight. But the main thing is, you got back to winning ways
Yep.
against Ryan Labourn, and you sort of, I would say, in a way, sort of fought similar to how you fought um Christov, not, I can't say his name because we'll be here all day. But you know who I mean. I think it was sort of a similar performance. Do you think or no?
It was again planning to get the rounds in because rounds are something that you know I haven't really gotten. So just after being out for God, I think it's 5 months, and the funny thing was that the fight come about when I was in Pakistan for my granddad's death anniversary. Um, I was over there and I was like, got the phone call from my management team, obviously with my new management, Vote Boxing, Latif Mohammed, Joe Yarrell, and Dan Francis. We've got an opportunity for you. I was like, okay, yeah, where? Oh, they told me the date. I was like, yeah, I'm back from Pakistan on the 3rd of July. They're like, have you got your gloves? I go, yeah. You got your boots? Yeah. Which ones? Running and boxing. I go, yeah, I got both. Got your skipping rope. Got everything. They're like, yeah, we'll train then. So then Pakistan went from being it was supposed to be a chilled out holiday type thing, enjoy the time and not really worry about boxing, to being a boxing holiday in essence, where I was training, watching what I eat, but at the same point, everything that I was there for uh, went well. So I come back feeling a lot better than when I'd left here.
Yes, because you was meant to be boxing Ryan in May, but unfortunately due to what happened that night.
Brief Dean passing away, yeah.
Yeah.
So to be honest, I think me not boxing in May was better. I feel like coming back from Pakistan, I feel rejuvenated. So that's a good thing for myself. It was a good performance. Again, tried not to get hit. And there was a couple of instances where I got a little clip, and it's like, luckily I take the momentum away by moving the head, having the gloves up. It's like just telling myself, don't give
Because you
anyone an opportunity.
controlled it with the jab, I thought it was, I thought you were setting your shots up quite nicely.
Yeah. So and that was the plan. Eh, I saw the comments on. There was a couple of people posting about what they were expecting about the fight, and I know. I think you said KO 2 or 3. I think it was
Yeah,
TK.
I was thinking maybe, but I thought he might as well try and get the rounds because Ryan is quite durable at the same time.
That is the thing. There were a few moments where I could have put my foot down a little bit, but my coach said it was a team decision that let's try and get the rounds in. Now, if I clipped him and I hurt him, don't get me wrong, I would have jumped on him straight away. I hit him. I think I got him with a body shot, which I
Mm.
thought hurt.
He
And,
went sort of.
yeah, and then I went after him again. I threw the same shot again. He grabbed me, but then he looked okay. So I was like, okay, all right, go for it, keep going for it. If I get him and I take him out, I take him out. If I don't, fair enough. He's thinking his way through. But it was a good enough performance.
What round was the head clash?
Round 4. So the first thing I said to the ref, going off the Vidal Riley fight, I couldn't see. This one, as it was on the eyelid, for some reason it was weird. The eyelid, the blood was going away from the eye, so I could see. So the first thing I said, ref, I can see, I'm fine. So I didn't want the ref to turn around and say, "Listen, that's it, done," and it'll get stopped as a TKO. So after it was as soon as he come to the corner, the ref come to the corner and he said, after the 4th round goes to a scorecards now, boys. And I was like, thank fuck for that, because there's no way I'm losing this one. But at the same point, when they were announcing the decision, I was like getting PTSD of Tolworth. I was
What, were
like,
you
please,
nervous?
yeah. After having what happened to me in Tolworth, I was like, I know I've won the fight. There's no way I've lost this fight. And 62, I was like, that's me. That's got to be me. Like, and you know it. And I've been through that stage so many. I think about must be 60 odd times in my amateur and pro career. Never felt nervous. Whatever it's like, you know what? It'll be what it is. And I was like, you know, I hope it is me. And then the referee was obviously someone different. It was in a different area, and the referee obviously knew what he was watching this time. So I was like, thank God for that. So I've got that out of my system as well.
And even though you should be 2 wins on the bounce, sort of back to winning ways, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. So we were looking forward to fighting in Wales on August 17th, but head
Yeah,
clash.
against Toby
Can't.
Vermeer.
Yeah, so we're looking at September time now. See whatever comes up.
Would you
Uh,
reschedule that fight with Toby Vermeer or no?
it depends. Trying, he was talking quite a bit, so it would be nice to just put him out of his misery and shut him up. But at the same point, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Instead, let's see who else we go for. If we get a date that he can't do, perfect. But if it's not Toby next fight, it won't be him at all. Because I'll be moving straight back up to more harder opponents, looking at
Mm.
getting my title contention.
Would you look for maybe a Celtic title or the English?
Yeah, that's what we were looking at is the Celtic title. So obviously, being my mother was from Scotland or is from Scotland,
Yeah.
I've got the links to being able to box for the Celtic title. So look, whatever comes up,
Would
whatever
the
yellow,
area interest you against John Hedges or
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. Don't get me wrong. I think even John Hedges himself is past area level. So
Hmm.
that would be something. That would be if I was to fight John Hedges, for example. It can't be for a southern area. That's a much bigger fight.
Maybe for an English or a Commonwealth silver as that's a new belt?
That is more for one of them. So, but we'll see. We'll see whatever gets offered and whatever as I call him, the mad magician Dan comes up with. He's got about 10 different plans, and if those 10 don't come off, he's got about 15 others working away. So, I leave that to them, and now I'm able to just focus on boxing.
So when can we expect you next out? September, you said?
September, hopefully, God willing, September.
And where will that be, or do you not know as of yet?
Haven't got a clue. And in the UK, I hope.
Fingers crossed. Um, would you ever want to fight in like Scotland?
I'll happily. I wouldn't mind. Obviously, that is a place where I'm from. My heritage is based there. Half of me essentially is Scottish, so half of me is from there. So I wouldn't mind. That would be something good one day. And they get behind their boxes really well. And I don't think the Scots have seen much of myself, Braveheart and Anees Taj, because I know if they did, walking out in the tartan, walking out with the bagpipes and whatnot, bloody love it. The Irish that I know from the Vidal Riley fight, etc. There was a couple of Irish pubs that knew I was Celtic Scot, so I've got a link in Scotland, and they were supporting me that night. So, I've got loads of videos that come through to me, like all the Irish fans. So, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and of course, so of course you're the manager of Baluta, aren't you?
Yeah, myself at the moment, I'm in the process of getting my management license. So at the moment, it's myself and Kieran Duffy, my trainer. He's got management license, so we're managing Baluta. Um, I'm doing all the work because I've always done his stuff. So it just makes it a little bit better that now I'm managing him as well. Always done his legal work.
Will you
His
be in his corner or no?
Yeah, I'm still a translator. I haven't lost that job just because I've got the new title of management. I'll be in the corner. So obviously, we need someone talking English slash Spanish. So if any questions from a doctor come, um, we need someone to be able to converse between them both. And the coaches aren't able to speak English, and no one else is able to speak Spanish other than myself with English. So
So you'll
I'll be
do the
there.
job translating.
Yeah, I'll be there tonight again. So I'll be getting ready to go in the next 10-15 minutes. We'll get to the train station and go down to the O2. Got a few jobs that I've got to do beforehand, a few
Mm.
things for Baluta himself. But that's the joys of being a manager now, doing all the running around.
Just briefly talk about Baluta's fight with McCann. Of course, it's a rematch, and yeah, how did camp go for him? And just talk about what's he gonna do tonight.
Camp went great for him. Plenty of great sparring. We got a lot of sparring in from surrounding areas, um, in and around where he is in Marbella. We got nearby. We've got some in Madrid, some in Bilbao. So we went everywhere for sparring. You know, Olympic team sparring as well. We had Olympians coming into camp and having, doing it 3 rounds on 3 rounds on 3 rounds on three, trying to keeping them fresh because that's what they fight, and keeping the pressure on Baluta, because what we're envisioning is McCann's going to come out trying to pressure him from the off, because he's obviously built himself a little bit different now with Joe McNally and whatnot, and they're trying to build him to be more physical. But as we saw in Baluta versus Kane, just because you be more physical and you look bigger or whatever you have, it's going to take a lot to put our nutter down. And that's
Mm.
exactly what I call him. You hit him hard, he's going to come back and hit you twice.
So do you feel like they're just gonna start where they left off last time?
Essentially, I think the first round, I think McCann's going to come out and try and put pressure on and try and shock everyone by trying to take him out, a bit like what Kane did. But what will happen is, I think, come third, fourth round, Baluta starts taking over, pushing. He's a relentless little fucker, if you mind my French.
Mm.
Uh, he doesn't stop. So he's a little engine. So all we've got to make sure is we put the gasoline in, put the petrol, the diesel in, keep watering up in between rounds, and let him just get him off the hook and let him go. He does well listening to instructions. We've planned a couple maneuvers, stuff like that. So from what I've seen of myself, what I've seen from McCann in the Brad Strand fight, there's a few things we worked on that I spoke to his coach about. His coach agreed. They worked on a couple of things. So we just got to wait and see now. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if it goes to a stoppage for Baluta. I know Baluta hasn't really stopped many people, but I wouldn't be surprised, because I can sort of see myself, McCann trying to open up fifth or sixth round, trying to take Baluta out and getting caught and clipped.
Mm. Yeah, I was going to ask that question next. So you're saying a sixth round, maybe fifth round stoppage for Baluta tonight?
Yeah, but whether he stops him or not, a win, perfect. I'm happy with that. A win is all I want, but I can sense, just from body language and the telltale signs, that McCann might try and open up come fifth or sixth round, and I think Baluta can take him out.
Mm. And yeah, before I let you go, actually, what does the European title mean to Baluta himself, his whole team, including yourself? What does the European title mean to you guys?
It's a big thing. He's had the WBO European before, but the EBU is wholly different. It is the official European title, and it means that where we're trying to get him to go, which is world level, he is there, because you get the European title, then that's it. We can, whether we defend, whether we move up straight to world level, we'll see when the time comes, sort of tomorrow, when we're sitting there, when we're planning the next moves in the aftermath, because that's what happened. We'll sit down, maybe enjoy tomorrow, and then Monday we'll start focusing on what we're doing next. But it means we're on the right path.
Because he did beat the guy Inoue's fighting, isn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah,
He
that was a good win for him.
That was when he was
A few
that's
years back.
TJ Dahoney, isn't it? Dahini or however it is.
I don't
I
know
think
how it said, but yeah,
at the time he was or hadn't lost the WBA title. I think something happened, so he was in a comeback fight against Baluta. I think it was an 8 rounder or
it
something,
was, yeah.
and Baluta beat him. So to say the person who held the WBA world title has a loss to Baluta, that's a big thing.
It is indeed, mate. And before I let you go, as always, Anees, do you want to thank do you want to thank anyone, whether that's from Baluta's team and also helping you as well?
Thank everyone that's involved. They all know who they are. Working closely, me and Kieran, for this fight, Francis Warren in association co-manage essentially Blue for this fight. We got this fight over the line. Vote boxing, people who manage me. We're going to work together on a few things going forward. We've got a few things coming up. We'll see what happens. But I just want to thank anyone and everyone that's been a part of either my journey or Baluta's journey. It's all the work that they did has come to this stage where we're at now for the fighting for the EBU title.
Mm-hmm. And from me, Anees, thank you for your time. As always, well done on your win, v Ryan, and all the best with Baluta later.
Thank you. Nice one.
Thank you,
Have a good.
mate. Bye.
Bye bye.